guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Taylor. I am a brand new sewing person. I've been sewing for a grand total of 19 days and I decided to dive right into sewing my own clothes. And that's really my goal, is I want to sew a lot of my wardrobe. I decided that I didn't want to start with things like pillowcases and, simple things like that, because those things don't motivate me and I knew that I would quit. And I just wouldn't want to sew those things. I would quit and I wouldn't learn how to sew. So I have made a few pieces. I have a video where I showed what I made in my first, 13 days of sewing that I'll link here. Maybe if I can figure out how to link here. I'm new to YouTube as well. But so today is day 19. I am going to show you in this video, take you along with me as I sew Pomona pants. So these are my second pair of pants. Before this, I made the swallowtail pants by Charlie Darwin Textiles, I think is the name of her company. And I liked those, but I like the fit better. I like the way it looks, these Pomona pants look better. I've also read really great things about this pattern, that it's very beginner friendly. And so I am making the shorts, which is view C, and I'm making them out of a thrifted 100% cotton sheet. I've been making most of my stuff so far out of sheets that I found at the thrift store, just so that I'm not spending a ton of money on my really nice fabric and then ruining it or making something that's not wearable. So I'm gonna take you along with me as I sew the Pomona pants, or Pomona shorts. Okay, baby is asleep and I am back to working on cutting out these Pomona pants patterns. I'm just doing the wide leg and shorts first. There's another piece to do, like a tapered leg, which I will probably eventually do, but I'm starting with these. Okay, my pattern is cut. There is the pocket. That was a really big pattern, so that took me a while. Okay, so I think I have just enough of this thrifted linen cotton blend sheet to make these. I don't really care about the grain line because it's a sheet and these are just like practice shorts. So here is the line for the shorts. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut here, and then like when I do the pants, I can just re-tape this bottom piece back on. And I will have, this is already folded over, so I will have just enough room. I might have room to squeeze the pockets in there, or I can do pockets with another fabric. I think these are just gonna be like sleep boxer shorts, but I feel like once I can sew the shorts, I know I can probably sew a nice pair of pants too, because it's the same. I don't even need my cutting mat because I'm using my scissors. I got a rotary cutter to use, and it's a lot harder than it looks, and I can't cut curved lines on the rotary cutter. Yeah, I think this will work. I'm using toys to weigh down my pattern. Let's see. Let's do it. So I have a very rough pocket cut out. I did not cut it great. And then I have my two shorts pieces. So what I did last time when I was making what did I make? My first pair of pants, I used a sheet, and so there's not really a clear right and wrong side. And so I literally just like took this without flipping one. And so I ended up making two left legs. And so I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to make sure I flip it and then I label it like front, back, or wrong side, right side. Like I'm going to put an X through the wrong side so that I don't make that mistake again. I can't believe I got like an hour to work on stuff and the baby has not woken up yet, which is incredible. That hasn't happened in a few nights. And she's still sleeping, but I think this is a good stopping point, because it's after 9 o'clock and I like to go to bed early so I can get my sleep. So I'll try to work on some more tomorrow. I am back. I took like a 2 or 3 day hiatus from sewing because I had to get my toenail removed. I had an infection, had to get my toenail removed. And so my mobility has been a little bit limited. I actually today just sewed with my daughter like a door cozy, and now I am in the mood to sew. So I am sewing this evening with a sleeping baby on my back. We'll see how long I can do this, because as soon as she wakes up, I'm pretty much gonna be done. So I have my fabric cut out, I have the pockets cut out. I think the next step is attaching the pockets. Just realized I did not cut my notches out. saw in the instructions that I'm supposed to cut notches. And so now I'm trying to even figure out where the notches are on this pattern. So try to figure that out. I am very confused. Is this, are these the notches? Where are the notches? I don't even see like a key in the instructions. Where are the notches? I might have to go find a YouTube tutorial to walk me through where is. I think I found the notches. I don't know if I did it right. I don't know if it's the right spot. I know I was also supposed to do them before I like unpinned the pattern from the fabric, but I didn't think that there were any notches. So I should have just read more carefully. So hopefully everything is fine. I also realized I was supposed to cut out 2 pockets for the shorts and I only cut out 1. I think that's fine though. I think I'm gonna do 1, I'll just do 1 maybe back pocket. I don't know, we'll see. Press the sides together. I have a pocket sewed on. I don't know where it's gonna end up. I think this is the front, but I'm really not sure. This is not the best work. It's a little sloppy because I was rushing a little bit because my baby's awake, so I think I need to stop here because she's fussy. Yeah, it's not fabulous. By the way, I didn't switch out for a more like matching color. I'm just trying to get this done so quick. And like I said, these are gonna be like boxer shorts, I think. So we will see. It's not great. I'm a little confused about what I'm doing here. Oh, it goes this way. It goes this way. This is but it's a pocket. It's a pocket. And I think I need to go watch a tutorial on the Pomona pants because the tutorial is a bit confusing to me. So I think that's what I'm gonna do tonight. And then when I'm feeling ready, I'll move on to the next step. I'm not filming as much because it is evening. My baby is asleep. I'm trying to get some stuff done. So I just, the next step was to sew the front. I think this is the front together. So I sewed 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then I don't have a serger, so I finish with a zigzag stitch. But like, this is the first time you can see I am not a super straight sewer. What I always do with the zigzag stitch is I start it at the edge, and then I remember, I think I actually want to start the zigzag stitch or do it like as close to the seam as I can, and then trim the edge with scissors. So that's why it's like this, because then I remembered, oh, I want to be close to the seam. But what is that? So I don't know why some of my stitches were skipped. And like, I've never seen this before. Does anybody know why this happens? Okay, moving on to the next step. Well, I guess I should re-sew that, huh? So here's where we're at. If you hear like banging, it's my baby is playing with her activity center right here, hoping that she doesn't cry so I can film this. I did the front. I don't even see, I'm still so confused about this pattern. I think this is the front, maybe, or the back. So I did the back inseam and the front inseam. Now, what I'm a little confused about on these pants is the instructions said to do a seam and then, or do a seam, flip it right side out, and then do an edge stitch right next to the seam, and then a top stitch, I think it said 1/4 inch away from the edge stitch. So basically it has us doing 3 stitches along like each, I don't know if I'm even using the correct terminology, 3 stitch lines along each of these seams. And as I was watching tutorials, the only Pomona pant, I found several Pomona pants tutorials on YouTube, and of all the ones I watched, nobody did the 3rd top stitch. People only did like an edge stitch or a top stitch. I don't know what really the difference between an edge stitch and a top stitch is. So the first time, I think I did the front first, I did do those 3 stitches, but I was doing, I think this is the back, and I only did 1. Oh, and that's not very good up there. Yikes, I just saw that. I need to redo that. I just did 1 because I got really frustrated because I think my bobbin was running out, and I think that might be why my zigzags came out really wonky. And then weird things just started happening with my machine, and I had to like rip everything out. And so I was so frustrated by that point that I just did 1 stitch. I feel like 1 stitch should be sufficient, right? Can someone explain to me, if anybody knows, why we would need to do 3 stitch lines? Is it okay to just do the 2? Because the second one kind of pins down that seam allowance, which I think is probably one of the purposes of it. So why do a 3rd one? Is that 3rd one really necessary? Let me know, because these are my practice pants. So if it's really necessary, I'll do it with my nice pants. But yeah, just let me know, because it kind of seems like a waste of time. Also, I'm still a little bit confused about it. Is it like is the edge stitch supposed to be right next to the main seam, and then the top stitch? This is how I did it. So I did the edge stitch right next to the, I don't know if you can see that, right next to the main seam, and then I did just right over the top stitch. I don't know if I did that right. So if I didn't do that right, can someone let me know in the comments? Let's see if we can do this. So we're gonna pin. I like to use clips when I'm pinning like this. I don't really prefer pins. So it says pin it up to the notches, so I did that. But it says for the shorts, you don't need to stretch it between the notches. But then it looks like the picture, it's not really clear to me, because why would you only be pinning up to the notches? Why would you not pin the whole thing if you're doing all the way down? But the picture shows the seam all the way down, so I'm just gonna do it all the way down. Okay, I finished the side inseams. So all the tutorials I watched showed that was pretty tricky, because you have to like use your extension arm thing and like slide it in there and then find, anyways, I'm still getting turned around with my fabric and like what it actually is, but now it's coming together. So I think I've decided my pocket was in the front. So let's try it on. So I think next is the waistband. Okay, I just finished the waistband. So I hemmed it, folded it down. I think it was 1/4 of an inch, and then folded it 2 2¼ inches, and then I left about a 3 or 4 inch opening. I'm gonna slide the elastic up in there and then stitch it closed. So the way the pros say to do the elastic waist is to put a pin in one end, and then you stick that into your, let me sit down here. You stick that into your casing. So you stick it in, and then you just guide it through using the pin. I'm really not great at this. What I do is I kind of push the fabric over the pin, and then I pull the fabric this way. So with one hand, I push the fabric along the pin, and then I pull it with the other hand. It takes me a while. I'm not fast at it yet. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, but push the fabric, pull the fabric, push the fabric, pull the fabric. So I pinned the elastic in the back. I didn't sew it yet. Wanted to try it on to check the fit. See, I like when the elastic is a little more snug. Yeah, I think it works. So now I'm going to sew the ends of the elastic together and then close the casing. And then all I have left to do is the hem. And I think I'm done. Long side of the fabric. So now I have to redo that. This is my final product. Pomona shorts made out of a 100% cotton bed sheet. I like them. I misread the instructions. I only did one pocket. I should have put another pocket here, but I figured I'll just be wearing these as like lounge shorts around the house shorts, so not a big deal. I think they look pretty decent. The waistband was super easy. I did the swallowtail pants to start with before these ones, and that waistband had like a detached waistband, and that to me was a lot harder. I really like this waistband where you just roll it down. Yeah, I kind of rushed through this project, but I'm excited. I like the way it turned out. I like the fit. I like the cut of these pants. I know I was really confused during the sewing process, and I was, but it's not that the pattern was an issue. I think it's just for me being so new to this. I can't read a pattern and look at the drawings and know exactly what's going on, like know exactly what to do. I need a visual. And so I just don't know what these like terms mean. But once I actually got through the pattern, I realized this is actually a super simple construction. I really like the way there were only really like 3 seams for the main body of the pants besides the hem and the waistband and the pocket. It's just super simple and I really like it, and I'll probably make it like 5,000 times because this is like my dream style of shorts and pants. So I'm definitely gonna make, I already started making them in my black linen that I got. So we will see how that goes. I also realized through this process that I already knew this, but I am so impatient, and that's like the biggest thing that I really need to work on is just being more patient, slowing down instead of trying to rush through steps. I have always thought I'm a pretty thorough person and I read instructions pretty thoroughly, but I realized during this process that there were pieces on the pattern that I thought I had read the pattern thoroughly, but I didn't, because I missed things. I missed notches. I missed instructions. I missed places to put the pockets, and I went back and looked and it was right there. And I'm like, how did I miss that? So I really need to slow down, but otherwise I think they came out pretty good. So I am now making the pants. I'm making the wide leg pants version in black linen. And I started 2 days ago, and I'm actually on the inner leg piece right now. So I'm hoping to be done today or tomorrow, depending on how things go and how much time I get to work on this. But I love this pattern actually, now that I like have been through it. Another thing that I realized was that I've been totally doing my zigzag stitches to finish the seams. I've been doing them wrong, and I found another way to do them. So I'm using an overcasting foot now and doing an overcasting stitch. So I hope that that works better. What I realized was I started washing some of the clothes that I've made because I'm really not wearing most of them, but I washed my only wearable shirt that I've made so far, and it kind of started like unraveling and fraying already, and I realized that it's because I'm not doing a good job finishing the seams. So I need to work on that. I need to practice that. Another thing that I really need to work on is cutting fabric straight. I'm really struggling with that. My pieces are not straight. I'm cutting with scissors. I have a rotary cutter, but I cannot cut like curved lines with the rotary cutter. I feel like I just slice and it's just like, it's not good. And so I've been using scissors, but my scissors are like, it's jagged, it's choppy, and so my edges are never even. Yeah, I don't know if anyone has any tips on how to cut straight, either with a rotary cutter or scissors, please let me know, because I am on the struggle bus, especially with these big pattern pieces, you know, that you have to like crawl around on the floor, and I'm doing the best I can. I think it's still coming out okay. It just makes it a little trickier, I think, to like finish the seams because they're not like super straight edges right together, you know? So anyways, definitely recommend the Pomona pants by Anna Allen. It's a great pattern. I do feel like it's beginner friendly. I did have to use some YouTube tutorials, but with those, I was able to get it, and I do feel like it's very beginner friendly, very simple, and pretty quick, honestly. Story of my life, always interrupted by my kids, but that's okay. It is a blessing, and that is what you're gonna get here. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Maybe you'll subscribe if you are into this kind of chaotic sewing, beginner sewing, making mistakes content in a non-aesthetic basement with terrible lighting. Yeah, I hope you'll subscribe. I'll be posting more sewing adventures.